Good afternoon, Flosstube. My name is Mandy. Welcome to my channel, all about cross stitch. And we've got stitches. It has been a while since I think she's been on a video, at least a couple of videos, so I had to make sure to snag her since she decided to come out. So can you say hi to your friends? She did just wake up from a nap, so. This is Stitches, my adorable black cat. There she goes. Here you go. I got her a treat to get over here. And she found it. Today is Friday, December 6th, 2024. Where in the world is this last quarter of the year going? It's flying. If you are new to my channel, thank you for press and play. Check me out. I hope you enjoy things that you see and want to stick around a little while. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for your support. So appreciate it. Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks per my usual. Not a whole lot is going on. It is cold here in Michigan. This week we got basically the first decent amount of snowstorm. A couple weeks ago we did get a light bit of snow. I woke up in the morning, there was some snow on the ground. It was gone by noon, kind of a thing, but yeah. If I could easily turn the camera to point outside, I would, but we're not gonna mess with the settings here. Yeah, so Wednesday, I think it was, we got a, weather advisory, expected 3 to 5 inches, I think, something of that nature. I don't know that we got, I definitely wouldn't say we got 5 inches or anything like that. I honestly have no clue how much we ended up with. I haven't been out in a couple of days. I work from home. I love working from home, especially when it's times like these. You know, I don't have a reason to go out in bad weather like that. Just, I appreciate having my work from home job. That's for sure. So yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of stitching. I don't have a whole lot to show today, and yeah, we're gonna show you what I have. We'll get into some things going on here in a minute. I do want to give a thank you. Hopefully I will remember to tag in the comments below. I've been getting so bad with that, but hopefully we'll remember to do that. I received a shout out from a new to me channel. They've definitely got a lot more subscribers than me, but it was definitely a new channel for me. So it was from Charity at the Decorative Den here on YouTube. Go and give her a watch. You may already know about her. But yeah, it was very sweet of her to give me a shout out. She enjoys my channel and all that good stuff. She did mention something, and this is what's going to get into a little bit of some plans going forward in terms of videos. So she mentioned about how she really appreciated my regular schedule of when I share content and everything. So things are going to actually be changing here in the next couple of months in terms of how often I'm going to be filming. I've got a model that has a very tight deadline, and that's why I don't have a whole lot to share, is that has become my main focus. I have to get it done by the end of January, and it's a big one. I love it. I cannot wait for everyone to see it, and I really hope it's does well. I can't wait to share it. It's amazing. It is for Michelle at Bendy Stitchy Designs. Speaking of models of hers, I finally got a paper copy of the one that I did. I think I stitched it all last year, and then based on her release schedule and everything, it worked out to be released at the August online marketplace thing. So it is Ramsdale Morning Sampler. That is my stitching. I love it. This one's a big one too. This one was stitched with Selkie on Fox and Rabbit fabric. This one was such a gem to stitch. I loved it. Those trees, the different shadings, They were so fun. So when Michelle sent me the new model to stitch, she included a copy. I wasn't in a hurry for it by any means, but I definitely wanted to have my own copy so I could share. I haven't seen anybody stitch it yet, so if you are stitching it and I just haven't seen it online, let me know where I can see a picture of it, because I would absolutely love to see this out in the wild. So yes, that one was so much fun. And this new one, I don't want to give any details away on it. I will not be sharing it until Michelle does. I do have intentions of, once it's all done, doing my own filming, talking about it and everything. That will be released after Michelle shares everything on her side. So it'll be a few months probably, but I gotta get to stitching on it. So yeah, that is absolutely my main focus. 2 weeks, so outside of model stitching, 2 weeks from today, to keep on my normal every other Friday scheduling, so that would be December 20th. That's actually the start of my 2-week vacation. I don't have plans of going anywhere. It'll be spent in town, out at family's house and whatnot. But I won't be sitting at my desk on the other side of the camera for 2 weeks. I am off as of noon on that Friday. I do not go back until January 6th. So including the weekends and the 2 holidays, I will have like 16 straight days off work. I do already have plans of writing down my computer password so that I don't forget it like I did a year ago. But I'm definitely looking forward to that time off. I am sure I'll find a way to pack it up, but I also do really hope to have some days of just chilling at home, doing my own thing. With having the model stitch, it's not my only thing that I'm stitching on, but it is absolutely my main focus in terms of like I have an hour lunch. I have a half an hour break every day from work. So some of that time may be spent working on other, personal projects that I want to work on, just to mix things up. I'm really not one to stay monogamous with my stitching. But I'm gonna need to mix it up a little bit. I've attacked so much of this piece already as it is, but I still have a ways to go, and I do not want it come down to that last week of having, 50% that I gotta get stitched, because like I said, it's a decent sized piece. Nobody else will have to stitch it as quickly as I am, but so I hope people do enjoy stitching it when it comes out. But tight time frame, I want to get it done. I made an agreement to stitch it, so I need to be able to hold to that deadline. So that being said, I do have plans to film a whip parade, but it's not necessarily going to be 2 weeks from now like I do with my regularly filming every other week. So it'll be sometime within that 2 weeks that I'm off of work. I'm just not gonna promise that it'll be exactly how I've been filming for quite a while. So definitely looking forward to whip parade season. It is absolutely one of my favorite times, just being able to sit down and watch those movie length videos that people put out. I've also put out some decently length videos. So I am at this point planning, I'm thinking I may plan to do my whip parade in 2 parts, just because I have been having phone space issues. So just to eliminate that, quick cutoff and all that good stuff, I am thinking maybe separating it out into like non-full coverage and then full coverage pieces. We'll see. But shout out to Laura at Stitching by the Shore and her hubby, because a couple weeks ago she had an issue with that abrupt cutoff because her phone was running out of space. That Mo had learned a trick about deleting a bunch of apps, re-downloading them, the things that you regularly use or whatever, but that wipes off a whole lot of background data that just, like, that's the only way to clear things off. So huge thank you to Laura and Mo for figuring that out for me, because that wiped off my phone so much. I have a lot of apps that I use on such a regular basis that just, so iPhone has a way to offload it. So I thought maybe that would help clear up space. So the last couple of videos, I offloaded so much, which means the app is still on the phone. It's just not necessarily currently downloaded. Technology, I don't know how to explain it. That's the best I can say, I guess. But I was still having I was getting so many notices of phone space issues. Well, I followed what Mo suggested, and I am now down to like 34 gigabytes out of 64 or something like that. So yes, huge thank you to them. That being said, though, I am still kind of debating on doing a two-parter whip parade just to ensure we don't have issues. We'll see. That'll be in a few weeks, though, sometime while I'm off from work. Okay, moving on. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of content, but I do have a little bit of non-cross-stitch crafting that I want to share. A couple videos ago, I shared a bit of a paper journal that I've created, a little bit of junk journaling, I guess. I've got an update for that, so I do want to share it. I did get a, in fact, Charity had mentioned that she appreciated being able to see that. Sounds like she's got some paper background, paper crafting background as well, so I do want to share that. Again, talking about Laura, I don't want to say finally, I got my artist trading cards from her swap. She shared a full video of what everyone had stitched, and there were some brilliant ideas out there. I loved them, and I loved what I received. So the theme was things with wings, and yeah, this one was stitched by Ellen, and this was from a Just Cross Stitch from 2018. It is stitched on Ada, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. With a toile, and it's a little bunny with a cute little duck. It's adorable. I love it. And I love how that they used fabric as the background. Very unique. Hadn't thought of doing anything like that until Laura was sharing all of the different cards. So thank you to Ellen. And then this one came from Gail. I loved this when I saw it in the parade that Laura showed all of them, and it is a Mothman. So this was Mothman pattern from Murder Puffin. I have no clue who that designer is, but it's a Mothman, and it's so cute. Never would have thought to look for anything like this. I made an owl and a ladybug. I showed them a few videos ago. But yeah, people definitely got creative with the things with wings theme. So thank you to Laura for hosting that swap. Absolutely love working on those, and I can't wait to see what kind of themes you can come up with for 2025. Really appreciate all the work that you do into hosting the swap and everything. It's one of my favorite things that I get to stitch. Alrighty, so I have a finish back. I finished 1/4 of this. Me and some friends, we did the ink circles round robin in 2023. This year we turned it into the 4 of us sticking together, team 14 count, in doing a Carolyn Manning piece. So I've shown others that I've worked on, so this one is mine back. So huge thank you to Danielle, Michelle, and Megan. Not Michelle Bendy, but Main Moose Mama on Instagram, and Megan and Danielle for their work. I really hope that they didn't get too sick of stitching reds, because there's a lot of them in here. This is round Ruby from Carolyn Manning. It is one part of a 5-piece pattern that it is part of the Shooting Star series, but there's a number of patterns that is one big pattern, and then that big pattern pieces were kind of broken out, changed around a little bit maybe, to make 4 individual patterns. So this is one of the smaller of those. So like one bigger piece and then 4 smaller that create the whole. So this is one of those. And it's so pretty. This was stitched on a piece of 14 count Bestitch Me in Grog. I think it is Grogg. Don't look that. So yes, this was a fun one to stitch. I definitely enjoyed it. I like the Shooting Star style. There's so many different options on Carolyn Manning. Alrighty, so I have Danielle's piece to stitch. I do believe I shared it when I got it in the mail, just to show what it looked like after the 3 others had stitched. Now I got to get it finished. I really kind of wish that I had started it a little sooner to get it shipped out before the holiday season and all that. And then now that I've got this model, again, this is kind of one of those pieces that I'm working on lunch or break or something, just to kind of mix up some of my stitching time and to get it done. This is Nightmare, not a nightmare. That was funny. Night Before Christmas. Yes. And it's just got some beautiful colors. Looking forward to seeing this one done. It is on the Q-snap. I am still working on it. Ooh, we got a needle. Here we go. This is stitched on a piece of 14 count from, is it Live and Die LA? I don't remember the color name, and I don't have that paperwork handy at the moment if it was noted down. So, yeah, so I've got the corner done. Now I just gotta work on filling it in. Yeah, this one's a fun one. Lots of reds. Not so sure I like this fabric. It's a beautiful color, and I was so excited to get to work on it. I was glad that Danielle chose it. It's the material itself. It is definitely along the lines of a Picture This Plus, and on the not so enjoyable side of Picture This Plus. I don't imagine that this would be a good fabric for those that stitch in hand. I appreciate not having super stiff fabric, and you will see why in a minute. But yeah, it's just, my biggest thing is I feel like I can't get the Q-snap tight enough, because I like a really tight, you know, drum style Q-snap, and I feel like I'm constantly retightening it. So it personal preference by all means. It's beautiful fabric, but I can't say that I'm gonna buy personally any of their fabric. So but it's a beautiful piece, and I hope when Danielle gets around to framing it, or however she's finishing it, to get some of this, you know, keep a bit of a border rather than framing kind of thing right up to the edges, because it's a beautiful fabric. I love the color of it. And some of this actually looks like it may be the fabric itself coming through, but it'll be full coverage. So hopefully I'll still have this on hand to show maybe at the beginning of my WIP parade or something, even though, you know, WIP parades are usually the projects that are in process. But that I'm hoping to have it finished by then. And yeah, like I said, though, that model, trying to make sure to keep focused on it. Alrighty. So that was considered a new start, since you would have seen it last, because when you saw it last was just me getting it in the mail. Alrighty. New start. I mentioned this last video, I remember, because I remember having the material on order. It might have even been delivered like the next day or two after my last video. This is The Witch's Cat from Jeremiah Kettner, charted from Thread Geeks. I love that cat. That is so cute. Yeah, that was good for it, right? And I just lost my page, because I do need that one more time. Oh my gosh. Struggle bus over here. Don't mind me. I'll need it here in a minute. To the point that I even still have a needle hanging off of it. I got this pretty much at the same timing as I got my model. In fact, if I remember right, I'm pretty sure I got the package in the mail the same day as my last, that I filmed last. Not that I could have shown you it then, but the Ramsdell and that. But then I think this came on Saturday I just ordered it from Amazon. It is an 18 count. This is my first full coverage on an 18 count. From Kaydo on Amazon, Caydo, I think. I should have brought the other, because I cut this out of the full piece that I purchased. Stiff fabric to the nth degree. This isn't gonna give any true idea of how, like, I know it's gonna get worked in, but it is so stiff. Before I cut it down, I swear the stuff would have stood up on its own, because I thought there was a piece of cardboard folded into it just to keep it, you know, shape in the bag that it was in. Nope, no cardboard. It was just that starched. So when I cut down what I wanted, what I needed for this piece, I then washed it, hoping to wash some of that starch out, and then it shrunk the material. So that's why it's all wrinkled, is because I washed it and, you know, just really trying to get some of that starch from the factory process, but I don't know that it did much good. I even tried to give myself like an extra inch all the way around when I cut it down, that it, because of it shrinking. So it's an 18 count then washed, so it shrunk a little bit. I don't want to say it's been a struggle, but I've been learning how to do two-handed stitch. I don't have a frame or anything, but I have a TV tray stand thingy. I don't know what they're really called. They come in a 4-pack kind of thing. So I have my pattern and all my goodies sitting on that. And so then I just prop this against the table on my lap, and I've been doing really good at two-handed stitching. I don't know if it's because just going from 16 to 18 count, so stitches are slightly smaller. Again, even smaller yet because of washing it, it shrunk. I'm really hoping it's not going to be an issue of, you know, vision down the road as I'm stitching it, because some things have slowed me down with my stitching, and I hope going to 18 count isn't going to be an issue, because it's definitely going to take me a while to get this stitched. I'm perfectly fine stitching on 18 counts. I now have my fabric club from Bestitch Me on 18 count. I have not had any issues with those, but this just plain white Aida, it's slowing me down on my full coverage stitching. I'm not mad about it. I just, while it's the stiffness of the material that's really getting me annoyed. Pretty good at being able to get it, you know, that drum tight that I like. But anyways, I lost count of how many purples are in that corner, but there's quite a few. 6, 8, I don't even know. You can tell some slightly definition coming in there. I've got a hair or something on my phone, so it's throwing me off. I mean, you can tell there's definitely something coming in, you know, different shades. It's not just one solid color, but yeah, there's quite a few purples, which has been fun. I love it. I feel like I've heard Jessie talk about that from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, that because she's done a few different, I know of at least 2 Kettners that she's now finished. I know she's got at least one more on the go that I feel like I've heard her talk about all the purples that Kettner's known for, a lot of purples or something to that effect. So it's been funny seeing how many I'm going. Forgot to stitch that into the other side, but you can see what I've done. I've talked about it before if you're new here. Because of Pattern Keeper, I don't have any, and honestly, even before Pattern Keeper and I was doing paper patterns, this is the way that I've always stitched. Basically, I pick a symbol and I stitch as far as I can go within my Q-snap. You know, I'm not going to count all the way down here type of thing. And I say that every time I talk about how I stitch, but that's why you see splotches here and there in different directions, is just my style of stitching, that I'll pick a symbol and kind of go where I can. If there's a lot of different, a lot of one single color in an area, I'll do multiple strands. That's how I feel comfortable stitching for the most part. That is one whole block, at least one block, 100, 10 by 10 block filled in, and that was just because, plenty of different colors and, easy, wasn't super confetti at that point, I guess. So yeah, that is my witch's cat. I'm looking forward to getting back to it again. I feel like I'm talking fast today. Alrighty. And my last piece, this is an exciting one to share. You saw, if you watched last time, you saw how close I was to actually getting 2 pages finished. And I got that. In fact, I might have even gotten it on like that Friday night. This is going to be my focus piece in 2025, so you're definitely going to be seeing it a lot. Not in the month of January at this point, but I'm sure I'll be working on it some, again, just switching things up, but definitely hitting February, this will be this will be attacked in the best way possible. Mini Sea Opal, artwork by Elizabeth Welker, charted by Heaven and Earth. And I got that right corner done. So this is obviously off the Q-snap now, and this material, while it didn't start as stiff as my new 18 count did, I do know it started pretty stiff, and it's definitely working its way down. So yeah, so here we go. This is page, I believe it was 4 and 5 that I finished. I stitched them together. This, like those line marks that you're seeing there, are just from how I folded it up, putting it in the Q-snap. I've definitely seen the way, like, what is it, that Royal Rose or whatever it is, are getting, because of how tension changes, I've definitely been able to see some of those squares. So I feel bad for those folks because those don't come out. You may be able to get some, but those stay. Those page, you know, column markers and such, in a vertical direction. I've got a couple different pieces that's they're visible. So that's part of why I stitch where I do, you know, all over the place, and even more so that I'm really not paying too much attention to the page indicators because, yeah, I've learned some lessons from my own stitching. Stitch how you want. If you like stitching in the Royal Rose or diagonals or 10 by whatever you want to do, it's your project. There are no cross stitch police. I just wanted to make note that those lines you're seeing there is just material folded up. That'll iron out and stretch out. So, but yeah, this is such a fun piece. It's the colors they're so good. So pull it in a little closer. So last time you saw it, I know I was very close to a page finish. I remember there just being some random stitches right down here. So 26 pages now, I think, for the for 2024. Jessie was talking about having a goal of how many pages she wanted to get done on full coverage early in the year, and as I was getting another Haid project done, and just wiping those pages out, she and I chatted a little bit, and, you know, at one point it was, well, how many pages do you have done now, you know, for the year? So it was like kind of the 24 full coverage pages in 2024 kind of thing. So yeah, I think I know I blew past that, a few pages ago, so I want to say I'm at like 26 now. I don't have that handy at the moment. But yeah, this is my mini Sea Opal. And it's got a ways to go. I'm at like 31%, so it's all wrinkled because of how I had it in a Q-snap and grime guard. But, you know, so I just wanted to show the size of the piece. That it's, you know, 3-inch margin at the bottom kind of a thing. There are technically 3 rows of pages across. Even though I don't stick to the page, you know, line markers and such, I still count when I get pages done. But yeah, so that's gonna have a lot of stitching left to go. The whole piece has 107,000-ish, and I'm at 31,000, not 31,000, well, it could be. I'm at 31% completed. Stitching that for my mom, not a secret piece. She knows about it. She asked for it. But yeah, it's been a couple years that it's been on the go. So while I told her it was not going to be a focus piece by any means at the time of me starting it, I do want to get it focused on to get it done. Stitches. She's such a cute babe. Okay, so that is all of the actual stitching content in terms of what I've stitched on. You know, again, talking about the model plenty. So yeah, I've got one piece of haul here to show, and then a couple little, a little bit of non-stitching things to talk about. And yeah, so if you are only here to see, you know, the stitching that's on the go or whatever, I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks. It is definitely heading into that big holiday season, so whatever holiday you, you know, celebrate and participate in, I hope it's a great time for you. It's definitely, you know, winding up the year, regardless of celebrations or not. I hope everyone's doing well. You know, all that good stuff. So, I'm so bad about, you know, like leading up to Thanksgiving. I watched, you know, a handful of videos that everyone always said, you know, hope you have a great Thanksgiving. And I never think of those kind of things. So anyways, so speaking of 18 count, this is the, what month are we in? December? So this would have been November's fabric of the month. I'm sure people that get it have already received it by now. You know, warning if you don't want to see it, but I am going to talk about it. So color name is Cobbler, and I did not get this piece last time. When you sign up for the club from Bestitch Me, Brandy does make note that after a certain amount of time, colors, you know, have a possibility or will start repeating. For the last, like, well, it's been over 18 months now at this point, so probably 2 years. I've been in the neutral and all colors. So it would rotate. 1 month I'd get the neutral, 1 month I'd get the all color, you know, colorful ones. More recently, I switched it not only from 16 to 18 count, but then also from getting both to just the colors. So I did not actually receive this color last year, but I know it's been out previously. But whew, look at that base. I have no clue what I'm going to put on it, but it's gorgeous. And I didn't get it last year, so glad to have her modeling is just spot on. There's some fabrics out there, like at one point I wanted to try that ice dyeing. I'm now to the point that I don't care for that look. And it's just I feel like the style of stitching that I stitch on, the stuff that I stitch on just, I don't think would look good with that kind of bold modeling. Beautiful fabrics out there. I just don't like it being, for my own stitching, that bold. Okay. In terms of stitching, it's going to be Model City. So, I don't have any plans outside of that. Next year, I definitely have some plans of what I want to work on. You know, full coverage Fanatics has a number of stitching events to get you progress on such. So I'm planning on the 25 and 25 again in terms of 25 pages, because this is going to get me, well, this piece rather is going to get me, you know, 3/4 of the way there. So when yeah, I think it's a total of 25 pages for that project. So, you know, and I've got 5 pages done. So what is that? 20 pages? I think that's about the number that it's on. I am fully counting partial pages because, hey, it's a page. So, and it's, you know, it's going to be for my stitching. It's not like any, yeah. Kim has from Full Coverage Fanatics has talked about, you know, it's goals to get you progress on your project. So it's not like, you know, they're setting the rules of all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's really all that I have to share for stitching. I don't always talk about books, but this one was handy, so I thought I would share it. I'm 80 pages in, but I'm definitely excited to get reading more on it. But I am stitching on, or I said I was done with the stitching. I can't talk today. Fridays, by the time I start filming, I'm over talking. I am reading The Third Gilmore from Kelly Bishop. If you are a Gilmore Girls fan, she played Emily Gilmore, but she was also Baby's mom in Dirty Dancing. She's had other roles. She really got her start on Broadway, which is kind of where I'm still at reading, because again, I'm only 80 pages in, that it is a big focus on her background and how she got started in Broadway and all that. Definitely looking forward to the time of whatever stories she has to tell about Gilmore Girls, because I know there's a lot. I just can't wait to get there. So that is what I'm reading at the moment. Also listening to audiobooks. Yeah, those are fun. Okay, so the last thing I want to share, and then we will be done. A few videos ago, I talked about my little junk journal that I have started. I don't have any set plans of what I'm wanting to put in here, but I'm having fun with it. These are just random stickers that I liked. Really colorful, holographic type. There's a book and a window. That's someone reading. There's some butterflies flying around her. And then my stitches, because how can I? I'm not going to go through every page. You can go back a couple of videos where I showed it all, but I wanted to show my new stuff. Alrighty. Some of these are just... So I've got a big collection of stickers and paper and washi tape and, you know, all that kind of stuff that's for junk journaling, scrapbooking and all that kind of stuff. So some of it may just be random pages that, you know, coordinating stuff that I found. Some of it may be things that I picked up. If you saw the first time I showed it, I had stuff from a trip up in Traverse City. So there was like receipts and things of that nature from a specific day. Otherwise, things are just kind of ideas that I'm coming across based on the supplies that I have. So this is actually a mix of a couple different things going on, but this is based on the town that I live in, so Saginaw. A couple weeks ago, there was a craft fair in town that, you know, the events, that bazaars and such that are held at schools and whatnot. On that same day, there was also another boutique style bazaar that different clothing and holiday merchandise and like all kinds of different things of that nature. There was one particular booth that had Saginaw related stuff. So someone made up, that's a sticker, made up an Uno card with our area code. And then I think this was at this high school bazaar that there was a booth that had some Saginaw related stuff, and they had postcards. So that says Potter Street Station, and this building is here in Saginaw. It was a train station. You can see like the old style car, like that was probably from 1930s style car, maybe 40s. That's not even a car. It's a horse and buggy. I didn't look at it close enough. But it was a train station. I would have loved to have seen this back in the day, when it was, you know, thriving. It's no longer used. It's been abandoned for years. There's an organization who's trying to remodel it. Maybe not, yeah, just bring life back to it. I don't think it's ever going to be actually used as a train station again, but maybe just adding some of that historical you know, places back into a town that's been long not used. In my lifetime, this was never an open station, so it's been gone, you know, closed down for years. It's not in the best of areas of town, and that may be part of why it's looking so abandoned and everything. So this is absolutely an older picture, but I loved the idea of having the postcard. So you know, one of those special places in town that I would have loved to have seen when it was actually used. I got a postcard in the mail during election season, so I cut that out. Your vote, your voice. And then Michigan at some point had some, it must have been through the schools or something. They must have had, I think I heard that there was a contest for, you know how you go to vote, you get the I voted stickers. And so they had these ones that were drawn by kids and such. So there was, I don't know, half a dozen different styles. And so this is one of them. So it's a lighthouse. Michigan has quite a few. Saginaw does not. But it still, you know, fit the theme of Saginaw. And then this little sticker down here, it was I've got this pack of quotes, and I thought the idea of it really fits the whole topic. Apparently it was a quote from The Wizard of Oz. I don't remember it being from that, but you've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself. I can guarantee you that it goes fittingly. Trying to figure out how to word it. My direction of voting has changed over the years, and that fits. We'll just leave it at that. So this page was just it's just crafty stuff that I had in hand between me and Crystal, my friend that I've been doing these with. It came from this window. It wasn't a sticker, just a little cutout. It's actually a little 3D. The window thing's actually open. Did the glue? I had to glue something down, and So you can see that those kind of sit up a little bit. Of course, they're going to get crushed having it closed, but yeah, you can see that they're a little 3D. So when I was flipping through, Crystal had a packet of these little windows. Something clicked in my mind about this should be an outside view, like you're looking out the window. And so I had gotten some paper from my mom, little 6x6 cutouts and of scrap paper in that. So I found this one that's, it looks like a beach, honestly, if you kind of look at it. It was definitely from a beach themed pack. So it looks like, you know, you can see the waves crashing and sand. So I based it all around those two together. Crystal had this really cool washi tape that's a scene. You can see there's some water here. There's a little town, like, yeah, like you can see some high rises in that. So I thought that was cool. Got your little anchor and sailboats. And then again, she had another one of these that was perfectly cut out to have the sun. And then that little sticker. I know it's not going to focus. So a ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are for. So I just thought it was cool. I've got a number of ephemera that is kind of beach themed. So I thought that turned out so cool. I was really loving this idea, you know, with the window and all. And then this is technically cross stitch related. It's just not showing anything cross stitch. So I had this sticker crafty, and that's kind of what sparked the idea of this page. Wanted some color brought to us, so just got this not sparkly, but pretty paper. And then Robin trying to read things back and my camera doesn't work. So Pirate and Robin, that's a new floss dyer. We've got Forbidden Fiber, Classic Colorworks, Leo and Roxy, and another Forbidden Fiber. And then this sticker up here, it should handwrite onto their ant stitching. Whether it's a painting, sculpture, photograph, poem, or song, the very best artwork comes from being absolutely honest. Whoever Chelsea Stark is. And then in the middle, to thine own self be true, William Shakespeare. So, little crafty page. So the Classic Colorworks, I did want to keep some of the color names together. So the Classic Colorworks was River Rocks, and these are just from flosses that I used up the whole floss, except this one I just changed the floss card. And I thought they'd be perfect for a crafty journal. Originally I thought my cross stitch journal, but it's working out for this page. So we got River Rocks, and then Vampish. I cut the card down, and this was on the back. That's what it was. So the floss names from, and you can tell how old that is because they're now, what are they? Roxy floss now? So Leo got dropped, but so you can tell that's how old it was. So the color name for that one was Vampish. The other Forbidden Fiber is Gilded Cage. That was from my Ever After piece that I stitched from them. And then Boysenberry. Would that have been the same Ever After, or could that have been, yeah, Boysenberry. That was both of those colors were the framing of my Ever After piece. And then I know this color was from Belladonna. I just cut it down to have the logo. So yeah, that page was so fun. It was the idea of, I knew I wanted these to be used somehow, and yeah, it came together well. I got 2 more pages. Stitches got her own page. So again, I wanted some pretty background. I love this book, but it's really just plain brown paper, kind of like that butcher paper or whatever it's called. So I needed a splash of color, and then literally just pulled black cat or cat related stickers. Crystal had this really fun booklet of cat stickers. I think it was from Michael's. So I used a border of the paw prints. This was from a Crazy Cat Lady subscription box. That's why I have so many Cat Lady shirts, is from that company. So I had saved this from one before, and that is absolutely one of her favorite toys, this particular wand. Again, Crystal had some other cat stickers that just, I know at least a couple of those are from her. Little shrimp, because, you know, fish. This one was actually from that same book of stickers of crystals, that the black cat, and then that says feed me. And that absolutely is like stitches to a T. And just other random little stickers. And then this, I have a label maker specifically that I use to label all of my floss boxes that are stacked all over. So I just made up a sticker with her name because stitches. And then this one, a little bit of a retro, and this is the last page, a little bit of a retro thing. Crystal had bought an ephemera pack that had, there were like pages from children's books that were cut out. And I remember reading this. I don't remember what that, maybe little critters or something. I don't remember what books they were from. Again, it was just loose pages from random books. I just thought it was really cute. And then I think it might have been in that same packet of hers. We're sharing our craft supplies back and forth. I've got a ton. She's got a ton. We're splitting things. Cookie Monster because he's cute. This was actually from a Diamond Art Club mailer that I got. They actually releasing tomorrow. They're releasing Disney canvases and all that. So I just cut it out of the mailer. I thought it was cute. We both had a page that we were wanting something more retro to be added there. Couldn't really think of what. We ended up shopping, and I think one or both of us, something. I know I'm going to add something else there. I just don't know what at this point. So that page is kind of a work in progress. So. And that is the last page that I have of my little crafting journal. Junk journal. Whatever. However you want to call it. For somebody who really didn't have a whole lot to share today, this is longer than, well, about the same length that I have been sharing lately. So I hope everyone has been doing well. Really don't have a whole lot to share outside of that. If I did, it would just be me sitting here rambling. I've talked about, plans of what I'm going to be doing going forward. Again, I really want to focus on that model to get it done and, stitch the best that I can for Michelle. I so appreciate her, picking me to stitch it. She actually had me in mind already, probably because it's on Ada and she knows I'm an Ada girl. So, yeah, we'll see each other in a few weeks. Like I said, I don't know if it'll necessarily be between Christmas, New Year's, or maybe that weekend. I honestly have no clue what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. My sister is still out of town, and she has been for like 70 some days. So I'm hoping to be able to get to spend a lot of time with her, just hanging out and crafting and baking and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really hoping she'll be home by Christmas. But I understand work comes first, and I know she's doing really good work. So that's all that I have to share today. Keep stitching, stitch what brings you joy, and we'll see you again soon. Bye. I don't have my room.